strict handstand push-ups. This is for a heels to wall strict handstand push-up. And I'm going to talk you through how to make sure you nail it every single time. So before we start, you need to make sure that you have the strength and technique requirements in order to be able to perform a strict handstand push-up with your heels to the wall. So this is just a quick checklist. It's not an exhaustive checklist. There's many other different things that you can work on in order to get a strict handstand push-up, but these are the most important ones. Can you do pike handstand push-ups? You want to be able to do pike handstand push-ups off a box with the top of your head touching the floor every single time before you start to think about working on your strict handstand push-up up against the wall. Can you kick up into a really nice solid handstand heels to wall every single time? And then once you're up there, can you hold the heels to wall position in the Superman shape? By that I mean squeezing your glutes or your bum in order to extend at the hip and really pushing your head through your shoulders when you're upside down on the wall. Last position is, can you do a headstand? That is the bottom of a handstand push-up. You don't need to be able to do a freestanding headstand, but if you can do a headstand against the wall, that's really gonna give you confidence going into strict handstand push-ups. And if you struggle to hold this position, you're going to struggle at the bottom of your handstand push-ups. It's really important you work on that too. So let's have a quick look at the movement itself. So you can see here what I mean about the Superman position. So my shoulders are open and I'm squeezing my bum to let my heels lead and hold that Superman or arch position on the wall. Head taps the floor and then push back up. So when we then look at breaking down this movement here, I have my arch position or my Superman position, which is really important when we then come to add the kip into it as well. Then the second step will be to make sure you break at your shoulders and that your eyes are looking forward through your arms, because you want the top of your head to tap the mat at the bottom. You want to make sure that you close your shoulders down first so that your head comes forward in front of the line. So you can see here that my hands or my fingertips are on the line and my head is coming down in front of the line. I must have a triangle position at the bottom in order to have a strong pushing position. So when I come back to my checklist, that's why we work on the headstand, because in a headstand, I'm not going to have my hands and my head in a straight line, because that's a really unstable position to hold a headstand in. So when I do my handstand push-up, it's much like my headstand, I want my head to be in front of my hands. So I've got a really nice strong pushing position. And then you want to make sure you push strongly through your hands at the bottom in order to hit these positions on the way back up as well, focusing on coming back exactly the same way that you did on the way down. One thing to note as well would be hand placement. So you can see here that my thumbs are facing forwards. That takes pressure off my wrists a little bit and also gives me a slightly better pushing position. Also, my wrists aren't directly underneath my shoulders. I go slightly wider with my arms because if I think about if I was doing a press with a barbell, I wouldn't have my hands directly on top of my shoulders. That's going to give me a really difficult pushing position. If I when I use the barbell, I'm going to go with my hands in my front rack slightly outside of shoulder distance, which gives me a much better pushing position. So I'm going to do the same with my handstands as well. So to finish up, here are your cues to think about. Kick up, thumbs face forwards and arms slightly outside shoulder distance apart. Start in the Superman position, so squeeze your bum to enable this. Do not arch your back in order to hit the Superman position. Your top of the head needs to face towards the floor so your eyes you can look through your arms at the top. So then when you start to close your shoulders down, you're going to be able to touch or tap the top of your head on the floor at the bottom of the rep. So close your shoulders down so your head comes forwards of your hands. Your head taps the mat in front of your hands to make that nice triangle position at the bottom. press through your arms, and you need to focus on hitting the same positions on the way up. Keeping in this nice tight Superman position will enable you to hit these shapes on the way up as well, rather than relaxing down into the bottom of the rep. So I hope that helps, and I'll speak to you soon.